Hey YouTubers, I'm going to show you how to use views in Drupal 7, and this is kind of complex, so I'll try to go to understandable rate. I'm going to assume you already have views installed in your modules for Drupal 7. I will mention this does require chaos tools right here, so you'll have to install that before you install views. And I'll just shrink all these down. Okay, and I have my views enabled. So we're going to make a blog listing, kind of like WordPress, how it lists out blogs. And what I'll do is first go to content. And if I go to add content, we're to have something here called an article. And it says use articles for time-sensitive content like news, press release, or blog post. And that's what I'm going to use just for my blog post. And to do this, we first should create a structure. And we're going to create a view. Okay, and don't get scared by all this stuff in here. Just go ahead and go to add new view, and let's call this blog. There we go. And the view type will just be node. And next. And this next part is probably very intimidating. Basically what we have here is a bunch of options, and this builds a query from your database and it groups things together. And it's a little point and click with this to try to make it easier, but there's a lot to understand. I'll go through it very briefly. We want to select things that are only articles, so we're going to do a filter. So I'll click the plus by the filter, and when you click that, it looks like it did nothing. And you just got to scroll down. And I'm going to go to node, which is a default content type. And I want to filter them by if it's published and if it's a certain type. Remember, we looked at the content types. So I'll go ahead and click add. And we want to make sure yes that it's published. Then wait for this. And the type, I want it to be one of the article. Remember the content types once again. And update. For the row style, I'm going to click this and select node. Update. And something like this, use pager. This will show like 10 listings per page. I forgot to change one setting down here. The build mode will be a teaser, kind of like it shows a portion of your articles. And I believe that's good for now, but right now it's not going to do anything because we have to actually create a page. So first let me go ahead and save this overall thing. Okay, now it's saved, and what we're going to do is add a display, and there's a few of these. We're just going to do a page. And add display. Okay. And if you see something in italics, that just means it's derived from the default settings. So if you had a page that shows listings, then a block like on a sidebar that shows listings, it would all fall back on default settings that aren't changed, which is pretty cool. And what we're going to do for the page is first change the path. And I'm going to make mine blog. Just like that. And update. And on my menu, I want it to appear in the menu. How about a normal menu entry? And I'll call this blog. The navigation is not where I want it. I want it in the main menu, right at the top. And the weight, I'll just say like 15. This is just the position of where it appears. The heavier it is, the more to the right it goes. Okay. Additionally, we could do some sort criteria where if we wanted to list it by the publish date, if I click the plus there, and I went back down here to node, and we can sort it by the post date. Add. And you can say how you want to sort it, ascending, descending. I'll just update and override. Okay. So this looks like a kind of confusing thing here with all these settings, but the more you monkey with it, the easier it gets. If you scroll down, you see this query that it creates for us too. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save to save the overall settings. And what I'm going to do is go to my page/blog, and it's working, and here's the item up here at the top. What we need to do next is create some content, add content, and we're going to create an article. Remember, we're listing this blog area with articles. And I'll just call mine test. Pop that in there. I don't want a menu link because this is going to be listed under the blog. For the URL path settings, this is kind of important. I'm using Path Auto, which you should probably be using auto if you're not right now. And if you go to URL Alias Patterns, I've already changed this, but by default this is blank, pattern for all article paths. And what we want is that if we click a page inside of the blog, we want the URL to go to blog / and then the page name. So you should put blog and then these square brackets that say node title. Additionally, you might have the word content on this path here. You'll want to get rid of that also, so it's easier to read and looks better. So I'll save that. It appears we have to create the content over, so I'll go ahead and go to add content. I just want to make sure the URL was correct. And article. And I'll call this test. And really it's pretty much good from there. I'm going to do one more page so that we can see what's going on. So I will add content once more. Article. I'll call this test 2 and save. Okay, so I'm at my blog. I'll hit refresh, and here I have test and test 2. It looks like I'd probably want to change the order of the way this lists though, so let me go ahead and go to structure, views, and I'm going to edit the blog. And the page. And we wanted sorting, the sort criteria. I want it to list descending. So I'll update that. And save that. And I'm going to go to my blog page, and there we go, the newest one's at the top. Additionally, if I click this link, notice how we're at /blog. When we do the path auto, it goes to test 2, and it looks a lot better. You know what I mean? If you can also list your things in the sidebar by creating a block. I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Under the view, I'll go to block, add display, and all this is pretty good. I like that. For the, let's see, theme, expose, admin, and let me save it first so that I can hopefully get a preview down there. So I'm going to click preview, and here's what we get. We get this, and I only want the titles to show. So what we're going to do is change the row style from node, which is like a full page, to fields. And if you think of like a database, we can select only certain portions of the content. And we can go ahead and just update that. And you should get an error that says, there we go, it says using fields but something's up. So we go to this little fields box here, click the plus sign, and what do we want? I pretty much just want a title. So I'll click this group and go to node and title. Anything else? Not that I know of, so I'll just click add, and a pretty big list is going to pop up after you add this. And this is a label that will appear before it. You usually probably just want to leave this empty, and you could probably uncheck colon after label. And most of that's probably pretty good. Just see how it looks. I'll update, and we can go ahead, and here's our preview down here. That looks good. I'll save. And in order to get this block to display where we want it, we would go to Structure, Blocks. Let's scroll down to, oh, where is it? Looks like I missed something. Let's go back to the views real quick. Structure, views. And blog, edit. Okay, we got a block in there and a page. So this should be appearing in there. I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, let's see. Block. We have block 1. Display status. Yeah, it appears it should display. So I'll go back to structure, block. I might have forgotten to give it a title correctly. Blog block. Sorry, this was in there from earlier. So what you're going to have down here is something called blog block, and you can pop this into a block somewhere. And I'll put it in the sidebar second and save. We're just about done. So I'll go ahead and hit refresh. And here it is on our block here. We can jump to articles real quick in our blog from this block, or on the blog page we can get a listing of 10 of these at a time. I'd actually have to adjust this to show the teasers again for the page. Sorry about that, but this tutorial is getting quite long. I hope this was a help. Thanks for watching.